all of Eorzea know what you think. Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. So let's talk about Heaven on High.
All right, we're going to start with Heaven on High?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Well, why would we start with Hildebrand?
I mean, they're both kind of duds, so either way. Yeah. All right. So Heaven's on High. I want to take, first of all, a few minutes here to complain about the fact that when unlocking it, right, I look on my map, it's a new system, so you know to look for the little quest with like the blue and gold, right? All right, so I see a blue and gold, Heaven Sent. Heaven on High. Okay, cool. Let me go and do that one. So I go and I start that one. I'm going through it, and then people in the chat are like, you know, you're doing the Beastman quest. I'm like, no, I'm not. The name of the quest was Heaven Sent. Heaven on High. No, sure enough, I was doing the Beastman quest. So I look back up there, and like next to it, maybe an inch away, was another heaven-related quest. And I'm just like, motherfucking Square Enix.
You're some kind of moron, you know that?
So you go and you do that. And that part of the quest, you know, first talking to the guys, oh, you're that Warrior of Light. My boss wants to see you. Go across the map. Fly across the map. Talk to his boss. Oh, yeah, we got some weird thing with the tower here.
We got a thing.
Go up the stairs and talk to my boss. Mother, are you fucking kidding me, Square Enix? Like, you wasted how much time creating all this dialogue and shit? We've talked about cutting the fat before.
Yeah.
Right? That's all this was. All the beginning of this quest was fat. Which eventually, you know, led into Heavens on High. So, finally got to do it.
Okay.
You know, in the chat, I had asked people, I had done about 20 floors before I got kicked off because there was a bug where summoners, of all people, which is hilarious, and we'll get to that, were crashing the instant, so they had to shut it down. So I didn't get to do all the way to floor.
It had to do with Bahamut.
Yeah, so I didn't get all the way to floor 30. But anyway, as I'm going through and people are watching me, because I'd done it for about 2 hours, I was asking people in chat, you know, based on what you've seen so far, or if you've done it yourself, or, you know, old Deep Dungeon Palace of the Dead, what would you guys rate it? Like grade it so far and what you've seen, right?
Yeah.
Nobody in the chat of about 30 people that were watching me gave it above a C.
Yikes.
Yeah. So anyone listening right now, first of all, you know, we always encourage calls, of course, but specifically today, I really need someone who enjoys Heaven on High, who thought that this was a great addition. I really need you to call in and explain to me why this was good, because it's the same thing.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't logged in at all this week. I don't think I've even patched for this for Heaven on High yet. So what I'm gonna challenge people to do today is sell me on it. Like, tell me why I should be interested in doing Heaven on High. Get me interested enough. Sell me on it. Get me to log in.
Glowing weapons?
Nope.
Okay. Let's talk about the weapons. Because sure, glowing weapons. Glowing weapons are always cool, right? Guess what? These aren't new weapon designs. They took a previous weapon design and just made it glowy. And at least for ninjas,
isn't that what they did? That's what they did last time too. It wasn't like an original model.
And I think that's fucking bullshit. Like, you don't have armor in here, right? You put a mount in some pets. You couldn't take the time, because again, in this patch, it's literally this quarter patch, or the fuck it is, 15th of a patch, I don't know. But you couldn't have taken the time to just actually design some new weapons for this.
Well, we could, but it would have pushed it back by about 6 months.
No. I don't even think it does. No. Whenever they push something back now, I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that, oh, you know, there was a bug or we're not completely done with it. By Yoshida's own admission, they separate the patches like that so that people don't feel overwhelmed at having to do a bunch of content all at once and then have a long-ass dry spell. He has said that they do this so that people constantly have something to do. So no, the idea that, oh, we don't have enough time, we had to rush it, we had to hurry up, that's bullshit. That is fucking bullshit. In fact, this was probably ready quite a while ago, but they were holding it out so that we had something to do. They had more than enough time to design new fucking weapons for this. Calling bullcrap on that.
They also had more than enough time to design a new system, which I understand they didn't do.
No. Can we talk about the new stuff then?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
All right, so new stuff. They changed a few pomanders, the ones that would change you into a succubus or a manticore. They changed those, but they still do pretty much the same thing. Like the whole point of using the manticore pomander was that you would one-shot everything. So now they've added in a petrification one, where everything on the floor is petrified for a certain amount of seconds, and you can basically one-shot them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't call that new. That's not new.
But now anyone can one-shot them.
It's still the same thing, though. It's better, sure, but it's the same thing.
Boy, that sucks.
All right. They put new floor design in there. There's now a floor that as you zone into it, instead of being like winding pathways and hallways, instead, it's just a gigantic ass open room.
That's kind of cool.
Which is kind of neat.
The first time you see it, you go, whoa.
Whoa, that's different.
And some of the little keys on there, the things that teleport you up, can be fakes. So if you run over to it, then it just disappears. You're like, oh, that was a fake one.
Well, then it does a bad thing on you.
Okay,
Oh, did it? I didn't even notice the bad thing.
It silenced me and made me unable to use abilities.
Okay, now, if that happened more often than once in the 20 floors that I did, maybe, but it's still not really changing anything. What's the one thing that we said that they should add to this to make this infinitely more interesting?
New
Changing
objectives.
the objective per floor.
Yeah.
Objectives. And how fucking hard would that be to do? They did it in that Halloween event 2-3 years ago, and we haven't seen hide nor hair of that since. Why is that so difficult to do? It's not even like you're programming new things. You've done it before. Someone tell me why they didn't do this. What's stopping them from actually doing this?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Juxta, play real devil's advocate. You're Square Enix. Why not put the objective-based...
Because if you do that, the more complicated it gets, the harder it is for newbies and casuals to do the content, because it might be too confusing.
But I feel
And this is meant to be a late expansion leveling technique.
But I feel like we have the original Deep Dungeon to do 1 through 60, and I feel like newbies will do that first, and then from 60 to 70 they can change it up because newbies already know how to do it.
That's not true. I don't know that. I mean, how would newbies know to do Deep Dungeon first?
I'm telling you they do. In the novice chat there's always people like, oh, I'm 15 now, how do I unlock Deep Dungeon? Like, people just know. I don't know.
Because everyone says if you want to level, go to Deep Dungeon.
Okay, you know what? Here's the thing, though.
When you get to that zone, you're already level 15 anyway, and you'll see the person and you'll talk to them anyway.
Let me ask you this then, Juxta. The fact that you have to have done floor 50 in Palace of the Dead means that any newbies who want to do this
that's
have to
true.
have done it
know
already.
how to do it. So
That's
at that
true.
point, why can't you add something more complex into the equation?
Actually, that's a very legit question.
Because newbies and casuals are still bad and don't understand complicated techniques and strategies.
I mean,
That's a Juxta question.
There is
That's a Juxta answer.
There is a difficulty curve, right? Like the difficulty curve starts at what level?
For Heaven and High?
Yeah.
The actual hard stuff comes after floor 30, which is the quote end of the story.
Okay. Gotcha. So
and,
you
and,
didn't
and,
even.
and by the way, we're using that very loosely. Story.
Nika, did you get past floor 30?
I haven't done it yet.
No, you're not missing out.
All right, let's go to our phone lines and talk to Satori Komeji. What's going on, Satori?
God damn, you guys like to complain.
Well, I mean,
all right, Satori. Show us wrong.
Complain about it.
We've been waiting for so long for this content, and now that it's here,
it's the same.
It's the same thing. So
set us straight, man.
Yeah,
please,
So,
please.
I like this a lot better than Palace, because if you just want to do this, or if you just want to do this when you go 1 to 30, get the story done, and then spam 21 to 30, you're gonna want to blow your fucking head off.
No, okay.
That would, because shit that low is unfun because things die too fast.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's.
This is not selling me on the feature.
I feel like you're on our side.
Yeah.
But if you do the climbs to 100, and they don't take as much of a time investment as your Palace of the Dead, because you're not doing 150 floors at once.
Okay, yeah.
You're instead doing 80, which is about, at the most, I would say a 4-hour time commitment. And once you hit floor 71, things actually start getting threatening.
Okay,
and once you hit that floor 81, things get hectic.
I'm going to agree with you that pruning what they had with Palace of the Dead, where they had 200 floors, was way too much. So condensing all of that experience down into just 100 floors, yes, sure, that was smart. But it's still the same thing you had in Palace of the Dead. Like, it's not like when you get to those top floors, that was the same challenge that Palace of the Dead gave you at 180 to 200. It's still the same thing, Satori.
Like, I'd be okay if 1 to 30 had the same objectives just to get through the story. And then once you hit 31, the objectives start changing because it's supposed to be hard format content, right? That's what they said. So I would expect maybe if you're talking about newbies, like 1 to 30, fine, leave it the same. But the hard format content should be hard. Like, change it, make it difficult, make it confusing, make it so that every time you go in, it's different shit. So you can't just spam it. You actually have to think and work as a team. That'd be cool.
I mean, what he's saying is that when you get to those top floors, you are going to have to work as a team, but it's still just
the same shit.
Thing for, by the way, no reward outside of here's some tomes.
Okay, so what I'm getting from this is that if you did Palace of the Dead, that this is just more of that, right? Like, there's no, like, if you're already good at Palace of the Dead, right? Like, if you were able to get to floor 200 of Palace of the Dead, there's nothing that this brings to the table that's even different.
No, it'd be like comparing, like, it's at its core, it's still the same.
Okay, so
but the enemy types are completely different at those higher floors. So
I would hope
different.
so, but
what does that change?
So it's a different skin.
That's
then.
it, because they all do the same thing. We put AoEs down on the floor.
So why was this a challenge for Square Enix to develop? Why did this take so long to put into the game? Why did we hear about this for so long and only now just get it?
Remember, they pushed it back so that we could do and enjoy all of the previous content, like the main story quests.
This is literally Square Enix gets an A+ at Control-C and Control-V. That is, I think, maybe the only things that they know how to do anymore, right? Like, they build something and then they just want to build within that framework. And that's the thing that drives me so fucking crazy, is that this game does not have that strict of a framework. You could open it up and do much more interesting things with various activities in FF14, but they don't, because it's easier to just let's take the same rule set and just give them different graphics. They will know the difference. That fucking drives me crazy. Why does Square Enix think that makes a good, compelling, or interesting MMO or game? Because they do that with FF15 too. Like, they just copied and paste various quests across the fucking map. What is it about Square Enix where they need to cut corners like this? Is it that they don't make enough money? Like, what the fuck? This is the part that incenses me, because this could be really interesting. This could have been a much more engaging system. So I know exactly what to expect for the next Eureka. It's going to be the exact same fucking thing in a different zone.
That's one of the big fears that I have now. Is this was Square Enix's real chance to take something that people loved, right? Even though on its face it may not have been what it could have been, people still love Deep Dungeon, okay? And they had a chance to make it into something really, really great and show that they could improve and that they could, change stuff. That they could evolve their game modes. And what I think hurts the most too is that not even looking back at FF11 and being like, look, you have stuff that you can take inspiration from in there and put into this. You've already done it in this game with that Halloween event, and you still choose to do nothing with it.
It's like they did that and they went, oh wow, that was a lot of work, let's not do that again. Like, I don't
like, it was so much work, we should just copy this Halloween and do the same thing for next Halloween.
Well, now all Halloween is set for the rest of the time,
because there was a lot of work. There's a lot of development time that went into that.
Like, am I the only one that walks away from the content having done it and just goes, they just don't give a shit anymore. They don't care.
No, you're not. That pretty much kind of bottom lines it. The only thing that Heavens on High is going to be good for, and it's the same thing that Deep Dungeon was good for, is if you have ults that you want to level.
Yep.
There you go.
And that's why it wasn't like it was. All this shit was probably ready from day one, but they can't put it at the start of the expansion because then you have a really easy leveling way.
Right.
So they put it at the back end of the expansion.
Satori,
Yeah, this is probably, you're probably right. This has been done for a long time.
Quick question for you, just for my own benefit. Once you get past 430, once you start getting up into the harder floors, do they at least abandon the stupid Asian dojo tea bathhouse aesthetic? Oh, thank God.
Yeah, 440 to get, they abandoned that, and it actually looks interesting.
Well,
There's
at least there's that.
a thing, I guess.
But the fact that like you don't even get like if you just do the story, it's all Asian theme all the time.
Really quick, I want to give you guys just a quick spoiler-free review of the story, okay? So they discovered that you can go into Heaven's Tower, but it's dangerous. So you, the Warrior of Light, needs to go through it for them. So floor 10. All right, you did it. Oh, that guy, he has something... Something's mysterious about him, and he has a secret.
I don't like secrets.
Floor 20.
He's poopy.
Floor 20. He makes it a weird point to sort of show us, the viewer, that he knows you're the Warrior of Light, which fucking everyone knows we're the Warrior of fucking Light. And then that's as far as I got, because then Summoners crashed Heavens on High somehow.
Yeah, so what? I don't know. I decided that was like the one time I was actually free to do the Deep Dungeon, and it was down.
Yeah.
So I joined a parade, and we put on a parade outside the tower, and it was amazing.
You know what? That's probably more...
It was a parade of the Namazu mounts. Because it looked like parade floats. So we literally for like 30 minutes.
To be fair, that sounds...
It was really cool.
Getting extremely gay.
Oh my God! Stop with the gay vibes. That sounds more narratively compelling than the narrative that I've seen so far. Let me just put it that way. Juxta.
Oh, just wait until after you do the story. Ancient Elegant.
Spoilers. He lied to you. Everything that they said to you was a lie.
They haven't said a whole lot except, we just discovered this and didn't go anywhere in there. So
yeah, it's a lie.
Stuff. Oh,
the little story that they do give you, that's a complete lie.
Wow.
So then what's the point?
They just wanted us
Spoilers
to,
to test your strength.
But I mean,
to test the strength of the Warrior of Light.
Jesus fucking.
The guy who's destroyed, or girl, sorry, that has destroyed how many hundreds of primals and saved all of Doma and Alamigo. They need to test our strength.
Yeah.
For what?
What?
For what?
What do you mean for what?
Why are they testing our strength?
Why would they not test your strength?
Like for something else to make sure that we're going to be up to snuff for what comes next?
We just got to see how strong you are.
Yeah.
See how far up you can go.
The Primal Slayer?
Like filler content in animes? Did they do that little short arc? It's like, let's test your strength.
I mean, this is all just the anime expansion.
So
we
then
got
why
the
not?
Tournament arc raid. We got the test your strength.
So then why not just say that? Why not just say that right out of the gate? Why lie to the player?
Because Square Enix is like, LBR's like, we need curveballs in your storytelling. Here's your curveball.
Lying to the audience is not a curveball.
Oh, it's a total curveball.
No, it's not. Hang on. What narrative device are they using? The unreliable narrator? What is it?
The narrator lies to the audience.
Yeah, the narrator lies to the not to the Warrior of Light.
Well, to him
because,
too.
Well, that's the thing. If you're just lying to the Warrior of Light, sure, that I will give you. But after the Warrior of Light walks off, and this guy comes on after you've defeated the boss of the floor, and then they're talking, they seem like they're evil.
Actually, you know
what? So they're lying to the audience.
Yeah, they're lying to the audience, but they're actually technically not lying to the Warrior of Light. See that whole creepy, I'm actually a bad guy thing? Spoilers, he's not a bad guy.
I fucking hate this game sometimes. I really do.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
At least they didn't waste some time changing the item description for it, a Realm Reborn item.
Yeah, Koji Fox in his infinite wisdom changed the somewhat Laurel item to have it say something along the effects of some people think this is actually a Yanni item instead of a Laurel item.
Oh my God, stop it. All right. Thank you for the call, Satori. We appreciate it. If you want to give Limit Break Radio a call, Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. Gotta say, he didn't sell me on it.
No.
What?